Hi everybody, my name is Zach Mendez and I am a photographer and arts administrator based in Santa Barbara, California. For those of you who know me, you'll know that I work full-time at Opera Santa Barbara, which is the professional opera company here in Santa Barbara. And part of the work that I do with them is photography and videography. So I shoot all the photos and make all the videos for the company for promotional and archival purposes. I also have my own photo business where I shoot mostly musicians, singers, actors, portraits, headshots, that sort of thing. And also for a lot of local nonprofits and other arts organizations like the Santa Barbara Symphony and the Ensemble Theater Company here in Santa Barbara. So I want to take a minute and show you guys the gear that I'm using now at the end of 2020. While photography is a part of my full-time job and it's a part of my income, it is not my only income. So for me, photography, a lot of it is about my passion for photography, my passion for gear and tech and cameras and making pictures and taking photos of the beautiful city where I live, Santa Barbara. A lot of that's just for my own enjoyment. So just keep that in mind that I'm coming from a place where I'm not a full-time photographer. This is the gear that I use to make professional work, but also it fulfills me personally. So just keep that in mind as we're looking at some of the gear. Before we get started, I just want to show you the little rig that I set up to film this. So I have an X-T3. This is not mine. I'm just borrowing this with a 16-55 f2.8 Fujifilm lens. This is my top-down view for my in-case bag here. I have a couple of stools because I don't have a proper table. So anyway, this is my top-down rig. I have it on a GorillaPod on a C-stand. So that's just like a normal C-stand, and then obviously my R6. I'm shooting this video on my R6 with my 24mm 1.4 L lens from Canon. So you won't see the R6 in the bag when I open it up, but I did get some shots of it in there beforehand so you can see what the bag looks like with the 24 and the R6 in there. And I'm being lit, as always, by my beautiful view here in Santa Barbara of the Channel Islands and downtown, if you can see that out of my window. So enough of that, let's get into the bag. So as you can probably see, this is an in-case. I love in-case, they make great stuff. This is a DSLR bag. I don't know if it has another name. I've had this for about 4 years since I started. It's gone with me to the beach. It's gone with me hiking. It's traveled with me to various places across the US. It's held up super well. I love it. It works for everything that I need it for. So on the outside here, we have several pockets on the front. We have some straps here for a tripod, should you want to add a tripod. We have a quick grab camera pocket here up top. Don't have anything in there right now, but if you did have a camera, you could just grab it really quickly. On the side here is a pocket for like a water bottle. It works really well even for my gigantic hydro flask. So you can see like it's a pretty snug fit. It keeps it in there, which is pretty awesome. This side zipper portion here is what I put my keys in. So I just put my keys in there whenever I get to a shoot and they just stay in there so that they're not like bunched up in my pocket. There are a few pockets here on the front. This one's just a pretty deep pocket. I think the only thing I have in there right now is just an iPhone charger. This pocket here holds a lot of like little knickknacks. I have some cables, sunglasses, stickers, Purell, chapstick, an SD card, USB-C reader for my iPad, USB drive, stuff like that. You can just throw in this little pocket here. And then we have the main pocket, which is another pretty deep pocket. So you have a couple of options here. This gigantic pocket would fit a 16-inch MacBook. Then you have a secondary pocket, which could fit like an iPad or a Wacom. My primary mobile device right now is my 2020 iPad Pro. So I would just stick my iPad Pro in the top pocket and my Wacom tablet in this pocket, and I'm good to go. This little pocket's for, I have put like a mouse or a hard drive in before. Same with this one, you can put a mouse or a hard drive in this little pocket. Then they have some nice little areas to store pens. I have an Apple Pencil in here, as well as my Wacom tablet pen. I have a Sharpie and a pen, and I also have a screwdriver. Screwdrivers for tightening the plates on a gimbal that I sometimes use when I'm making video work for the opera. And then the rest of this is just storage. I have some masks in there right now, but you could use it for like, I don't know, like an extra shirt, or like if you're traveling, you could put some clothes in there. It's not a whole lot of space, but it's a pretty deep pocket, so you can get more in there than you think. Okay, so this is what you came to see. Right now I just have like random caps in the front, but this obviously is where you would put your camera with your lens for quick access would go here. Right now my R6 and my 24 is filming me, as I said, so it's not in here, but normally it would be probably in that area, or my X Pro 3 would be there, whichever camera I'm using with the lens on, I would keep here. Here's my other camera from Canon. This is the EOS R. I love this camera, it's really fantastic. It's really nice pairing with my R6. I have also my second Canon lens, which is my 50mm 1.2. If you've watched my channel, you may have seen videos that I've made about both of my Canon L lenses. I have one about this 50, and I also have one about the 24 1.4 that's filming this right now. I find that for a majority of what I do, the 24 and the 50 is like an awesome combination. I don't really need much more than that. You might think that that's strange considering I shoot a lot of stage work, like actual in-theater performances where people are on stage singing, acting, that sort of thing. I'm really lucky because in my position at the opera, I'm part of staff, and so in rehearsals and things like that, I'm always there. I'm watching the show. I can get up close to the stage, so I'm able to use my 50mm and the 24mm to get some really interesting shots of the stage. I love what the primes do for my theater work. A play, an opera, a musical is not a photo shoot. It's not a clinical study. I don't need such a zoom lens where you're only seeing the people on stage. I like to get a little bit of the theater in there for some shots, and then I get close enough where I can get close with my 50, and that's just a luxury I have. I'm not able to do that in all circumstances. For instance, if I'm shooting an actual performance like at the symphony, I have rented lenses like the 70-200 and things like that. I don't love zoom lenses. Especially 70-200, they're just big and I just don't enjoy using them, so I won't add one of those to my kit. I just don't need it right now. I'll rent them if I ever need them. The only other prime that I might consider adding to my Canon would be like an 85 maybe, or like a 135 f2. That lens is really amazing and I would love to add that lens to this kit. I think that would be a really useful lens for me, but for now I'm content with just my two L lenses. So moving on from Canon, I have my beloved X Pro 3 is my favorite camera ever. If you've watched my channel at all, you've heard me go on and on about this camera, so I'm not going to go on about it anymore here. I have two Fujifilm lenses, the 35 f2 and the 23 f2. These are the two lenses I've had since I bought my X Pro 3. They're amazing. I just made a video about them. You should watch it. I have a new addition to the family. Talking about 135 f2, this is the Fujifilm 90mm f2 lens. It's a 135mm equivalent on full frame. This is a beautiful, beautiful lens. I'm shooting some work right now for the opera, some video work, and I've had this lens on a gimbal with the X-T3, and oh my god, it is like so nice. So nice to be able to shoot with this lens. It has like a perfect amount of length. The bokeh is incredible. The compression is beautiful. I've shot some photos with this recently out on the beach, on the bluffs. I'm loving this freaking lens. So might not need the Canon 135 f2 since I have this 90mm f2. I hope to make a video about the 90 soon. Let me know if you want to see that. Okay, what else do we have in here? We have a couple of chargers, one for Canon, one for Fujifilm. These things are really great to have around. I have several copies of each of them. They come with me on every shoot just in case I need them. I also have some that just permanently stay at home, so I'm not having to swap them out all the time. I have some extras. They're great to have. Over here, I just have some lens hoods, for the 90, the 50, and the 24. I have some straps from Peak Design. I have Peak Design little hooks on all my cameras. This is just a general neck strap, and this is a wrist strap. These are super handy to have. It's so nice to be able to just have your camera without a strap and then attach it really quickly. I think that is everything in here. Let's move on to these three compartments up here. So up here at the top is just a Velcro portion. I have a rocket blower. This is super useful when you're needing to clean your lenses. You should definitely have one of these. I also have some lens cloths, and I have a lens pen, which is an interesting little device that you can use to clean your lenses. So some lens maintenance. Up here, batteries. So I have Fujifilm batteries and Canon batteries. If you shoot Canon, you probably know what this little plastic guy is. When I first started shooting with them, I threw these away. Which was such a stupid decision. I didn't realize that there's a little cutout here and you can use it to tell you if the battery's charged or if the battery needs to be charged. So if it's dark like this, it needs to be charged. But if I put it on the blue like this, I know it's charged. That is such a useful feature. So much time is saved and so much hassle is saved by knowing if your batteries are charged. And then several Fuji batteries. Fortunately, I don't have any indicators on those. So those are my batteries. Got plenty of batteries, lots of batteries, always good to have extras. And then this final portion here is for memory card storage. So I have this like weatherproof memory card case that I keep my memory cards in. This one's actually for CF and SD cards. I don't have any CF cards anymore since I sold my 5D Mark IV, so this side's pretty useless to me. And as you can see, I don't have very many SD cards in here. I should get some extras, but right now they're all in my cameras being used, so that's that. Really useful to have extra memory and to have protection for your memory cards. Storage is super important. So that's it. That's the setup. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the gear that I use. Let me know if you have questions about anything. I'd love to make a video about any of this stuff. Just let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate that. Give this video a like. I'd really love to hear about the gear you're using, if you're using anything similar to me, what you're shooting. Like I said, if you have questions, send them my way. I always love to hear what you guys are thinking. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Love is free, coming